Hello, my hot potato. So in my last video, I finally shared probably the biggest secret of my life, and I know I've already shared so much with you, and a lot of you have seen my struggles and grew up with me and went through my journey as a freshman in college until now, my last semester in pharmacy school. Today I am just going to share with you another very personal and second part of my plastic surgery journey. You'll be seeing the good, bad, and ugly sides of all of it. In part 1, I showed you my consultation, and today you're gonna see what happened before my surgery, along with my post-surgery recovery and thoughts. And there will also be cute little separate Korea vlogs of all the fun places I visited, and of course, because food is life, the delicious food that I ate on my downtime. And yeah, if you haven't watched part 1 yet, I will be linking my plastic series playlist in the down bar if your body is ready for binge watching. But yeah, enough potato chatter, let's go. So it's 1 in the morning and I have completely lost all of my chill. I would be getting my nose job and my V-line under 6 hours of general anesthesia, and I had all these thoughts in my head. During my consultation, they did say that the facial contouring would be 4 of the 6 hours, and this includes like prep time, the surgery itself, stitching, and an hour of recovery time. And before all of this, I did tell myself that if I ever felt uncomfortable with something, I would get out. And so I just had to message Anna right away, and guys, she called me right away. And I was like, at first I was like, girl, is you a vampire? Like, what's going on? But she was so comforting and promised me that she and Shin would meet up with BANOBAGI and the surgeon in the morning. And so I got some much needed sleep and they worked their magic. And since my stay in Korea is longer than what's needed for facial contouring, I had a lot of spare time. So DocFinder actually took my thoughts into consideration and rearranged my surgery. So I was rescheduled for only facial contouring, and my rhinoplasty was moved to 5 days after that. So I definitely made the right decision in coming here, and I felt 100 times more comfortable walking in the operating room. But anyway, Chloe and I went over my heart and health workup and then the pre-surgery checklist. But I also saw Dr. O once more to voice any last minute questions or concerns, and then I was off to the operating room. We couldn't film this next part, but I did meet with all the staff and Dr. O once more. I was just super duper chill before my surgery, and before I knew it, I was just completely out, just asleep. But I was greeted 4 hours later, so here I am in all of my puffy fat baby looking glory. Honestly, I do look worse than I felt. The pain was just a little sore pain. I rank it a 2 to 3 out of 10. It was more so annoying than it was painful. And of course, after facial contouring surgery, you are to stay at the hospital for 1 night. And Shantae also just completed her surgeries too, but she didn't have to stay overnight. I just really wanted to hang out with her, so DocFinder Korea and BANOBAGI actually arranged for us to stay in the same room. She looked so funny. I could not stop cracking up. And here's Anna helping me to the bathroom because I was still coming down from the general anesthesia, so basically you could just say I was high. And she also walked a few laps around the floor with me since I had so much energy in me left, and I wasn't able to sleep for a while anyway after the surgery, so this was the only thing that kept me awake. And Anna left I think around like 10 or 11 that night. She probably realized I was sleeping when I started to do this weird thing I always do, which is like my eyes would be partly open, but not like, you know, all the way shut, and my mouth would basically be wide open. I swear I probably eat like 10 spiders a year. So the next morning, the nurse came in to remove the tube drains in my mouth, which you saw earlier. It was like getting a really long tampon removed from your cheeks. Once that's over, Dr. O came to visit me and he asked how I was doing, if I was in any pain. At this point, my pain level was a 3 out of 10, and I actually remember my wisdom teeth removal as like way worse pain, so he did a pretty freaking good job. He also told me I would reach peak swelling around the 3rd day and it would slowly go down after that, and that I could reach out to him if I had any more questions congratulations and wished me a speedy recovery. After that, I was free to go back to the BANOBAGI guest house. Anna and Dr. O actually gave me a bunch of tips on things to help with de-swelling, and one is light walking and basically just staying active instead of sleeping all day. And Shantae also walked with me to help with her de-swelling, but it was seriously the ultimate do not laugh challenge since we just crack each other up, and yeah, it's dangerous since we don't want to rip our stitches. I also drank lots and lots of water and stayed active and walked about like 4 to 7 miles every day. You will have a lot of phlegm after being under general anesthesia for a couple of days, and drinking a lot of water helped so much. So of course, also doing some pretty bad dancing in between that exhibit 1 and 2 here. Sorry about that. And in between my laps, I changed out my facial ice packs to help with the growing warm, burning sensation and inflammation in my face, especially around my jawline. I also made sure to sleep with my head elevated to help with de-swelling. It's not the most comfortable, but you can always get a super comfy pillow like I did, or a neck pillow that helps a lot. Dan, the cameraman for this entire trip, also helped me during my recovery, and here he is putting my socks on for me. But I was a lazy potato and I just pretended like I couldn't, okay? Embracing the grandma lazy lifestyle, you know what I mean? And the biggest, saddest note is that for the first 7 days, I am on an entirely liquid diet. And the fatty in me was very, very sad, but thank the Lord, BANOBAGI provided a huge pack of delicious, and I mean this stuff is like laced with something addictive, but it was so delicious. It's pumpkin juice and it helps with the de-swelling, and Doc Finder also gets you pumpkin juice if you go to another clinic, so you will taste this deliciousness. The BANOBAGI also gave me porridge since I can eat soft food after 7 days, and you also get these super yummy soybean drinks too. Anna also recommended a close by smoothie place, and I had Dan bring me some fresh fruit smoothies daily since I was hooked, and it was so cheap and so good. But at this point, I missed chewing food so much, so I lived by watching food shows, and I was craving mandu so bad. I was like, yes, one day I will eat you. And yeah, this is what my bedside desk looks like. After I drank like 1 pumpkin juice and up to 2 soybean drinks, I would immediately swish my mouth with water and then gargle. I gotta say, the gargle does not taste good at all, my friends, but you gotta do it. My pain level was always at most a 3 out of 10, so I barely needed any painkillers, though I think I might have a very high pain tolerance just because, you know, I'm a badass nowadays, but I'm just playing. And these are my meds. I take 1 packet 30 minutes after my meals, 3 times a day. The medications are given to you for free by Doc Finder Korea, so they even pick it up for you and deliver it to, like Anna did for me. And here is my post-op de-swelling progress. So during this time, I got to roam and shop a lot to help with de-swelling and to pass time. But if you want to see all that, wait and check out the vlog of all the touristy things that went on during my downtime. I will have it in the down bar. So after another fun-filled weekend, I was back at BANOBAGI Monday afternoon for my rhinoplasty. I fasted 6 hours before, and I met up with Devin to, of course, review my health workup and pre-surgery checklist. Devin also explained the aftercare, and I didn't get to film the aftercare for my facial contouring, but it was just as thorough. Afterwards, I went to see Dr. Lee for my pre-op consult, and he took so much care and attention during this time to just make sure that I was ready to go and confident for the surgery, and I was ready to go and changed into the BANOBAGI robes and off to surgery. 2 hours later, I woke up and was completely out of it, like high off of my mind. I wish someone actually recorded me and what I said, but I was so loopy, and apparently I said a bunch of funny things. Surprisingly, it was so much worse than my facial contouring post-op by like 500 times. I had cotton gauze packed up my nose, and every time I swallowed water, it felt like I was drowning, and I hate that feeling so much. I had to breathe straight through my mouth. And finally the following morning came and I was back at BANOBAGI and they were to remove my cotton gauze. It was the best feeling ever. I was able to breathe again. They also removed the stitches under my sideburns from the facial contouring, and she checked the stitches inside my mouth to make sure that they were clean and not infected. And this is why gargling is so important, you guys. And here I am, happy little camper, back at the guest house, able to breathe.
I can breathe clean now, the gauze is coming.
But at this point, I only had a slight burning pain in my right ear where the cartilage was taken, and the ear had some pretty bad bruising too, you guys. But I was so happy that I had no bruising from my nose job, like on my face. I mean, there was like some slight yellowing around my eyes, but it wasn't like as bad as I see with other people on YouTube. The next day, Shantae and I were off to see Dr. Kim at the BANOBAGI Dermatology Clinic for skincare and laser treatment consultation, and I just chatted about my concerns with acne scarring, skin dryness and dullness, along with my hyperpigmentation problems. And guys, I'm not kidding, but seriously, everyone I saw in Korea had flawless skin, like just like in the dramas. Like, talk about freaking skin goals for real. But yeah, my skin and laser treatments were scheduled for the following Monday, which is also a day before my flight back to the States, and that chunk of the video will be in part 3 along with my results, so check that out later. But for that same day, I had my dermatology swelling and bruise treatment, and Dr. Kim gave me a painless shot of an anti-inflammatory injection for the little pimple that thought it could chill on my jawline. But nope, Dr. Kim was just like, bye bish. Then I just took a nap while wearing this alien space helmet, which was actually a Dermio Care facial for anti-aging, and it's an oxygen energy treatment, and it stimulates the cell metabolism while you're inhaling the oxygen, and that's made available to your whole body, especially your brain. And it was just really relaxing, and I fell asleep for like the 30 minutes since the bed was also heated. And then I was back at BANOBAGI for the hyperbaric oxygen treatment to help enhance my body's natural healing process, and you do this by inhaling 100% oxygen while under increased atmospheric pressure. It's basically the same sensation as being on an airplane, which can be uncomfortable for some people, but I just swallow a few times when I feel that pressure in my ears until I get used to it, and then you're gonna get used to it and you'll be in the clear then. But this is actually a really well established treatment for like several medical conditions. After that, I had my nose cast removed and I was off to BANOBAGI again for the swelling and bruise treatment with the Smart Lux machine, and this was so relaxing and warm on my face. So again, I took what was probably my 50th nap that day after I stopped freaking out about how amazing my nose looked, even though it was super swollen still. So yeah, that is a good stopping point for this part of the series. In my video 3, I'll be sharing my skincare and laser treatments along with the post-surgery follow-up with the doctors and the results, of course. And I do realize I cannot answer everyone, so if anything, direct your questions to Doc Finder Korea or BANOBAGI, especially if you're wondering about a specific surgery. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!
Follow.